This is Wisdom Wednesday, where I want to share one of the most powerful tips that has ever come up in my goal coaching practice and in my own life. Because often we seek to teach what we have come to learn. I'm Carol Westmore, the Break Free Fast for Goal Success Coach, and I help women and some wonderful men who've consulted me over the years to break free from past patterns keeping you stuck in the present. That happened in my own life. And when I discovered the secret that talk therapy is not the be all and end all of healing inner blocks to success. On this video, you can see that I wrote the book Goal Success using EFT and matrix reimprinting, and my latest offering, an audio and ebook, which I have rewritten and am republishing so that people can go through the 10 biggest blocks to their goal success, which can be helped. And this is the important thing. No matter what tips I give you today to slay the dragon of perfectionism, which goes along with its sister, procrastination, ultimately we're talking about using EFT and its advanced protocol, matrix reimprinting, as a first choice. Then we can go, and why is that? Because it goes to the source. It goes to the seed of what likely is causing you to be a perfectionist. And it could be a parent who held up high standards when you got 99%. They said, where's the other 1%? Or in my case, and I want to share that, my parents were pretty okay with me, but my teachers were German nuns in a convent, and I learned from them to have very high standards and to be an achiever and a people pleaser. So I studied and got good marks, and I got school prizes, and that became the beginning of my seeds of perfectionism. And I share in my book, Goal Success, that one of the ways as a writer and creative that you can break free from the blocks of past perfectionism and procrastinating as a result is by going back to the echo, the part of you. And I always say to people when they say, I'm procrastinating, there's a part of you frozen in time procrastinating, and it's up to you to go and find her and rescue her from her frozen belief that she has to be perfect or not do it at all. So in today's episode of Wednesday Wisdom, I wanted to share, because I'm always looking for extensive ways to go beyond EFT matrix reimprinting, or once I've done that, found the root cause and healed that part of me that was frozen in time and believed she had to be perfect, it's still going to raise its head because, as I say, there's always the inner critic. There's always the part of you coming when you're trying to do something creative and saying, oh, well, that's not good enough. Or, and I've got my other friend, Eeyore, and that is the naysayer. Well, everyone's done that before. What have you got to say that's original? Just leave it. Oh, you've got other things to do. And then the worst part of all of that is my creative brain, ADD in some ways, which finds new, exciting things to do and doesn't finish, which is why I love this book by John Acuff, which gives a very interesting take. After he was telling people, don't be quitters, he did some data research, and he said it's the day after you set forth with your goal that's the key, because that's when the negative sayings and the inner beliefs that you're never going to achieve that goal perfectly can come up to sabotage you. So what I liked about his fresh take, is that you can make it fun. Did you see how I just brought in my inner critic? So if I start to get frozen, I will say, okay, Mr. Crow, no. I won't be listening to your criticism. I want to have fun doing this. And I have a little fun part of me, the inner child, who is a creative. And she has a friend who's got the rainbow hair. And I keep these around to remind myself that I don't have to be perfect and that I can help people in my role as a coach by understanding those parts of them. And over again, when I look at the testimonies I get, people say, Carol is like an angel, or a guardian, the mother I never had, or she makes a safe place for me to change. And actually, the latest trauma findings are, and some people, Pat Ogden is one of them, Dr. Pat Ogden, that I heard recently. The latest findings are that you need safety in order to transform. You need to be in a place that is safe, because if you're frozen and scared of the repercussions of not being perfect, you're not going to be able to change. No amount of beating yourself up with a stick is going to make you change. You need to be safe to open up to that part of you that wants to achieve something and has a big why. I mean, why do I want to write these books that I have on goal success? Because I wanted to prove to myself that I didn't just have a lot of ideas. And the first time I wrote my first book, You Can Break Free Fast, I said to someone, it's like putting, for me, it's like putting everything I know and 10, 15 years of coaching people with EFT, the journey, and matrix reimprinting. It's like putting toothpaste back into a tube. But I'm so glad I did it, because as you move on in your life, if you stop and complete something and finish it, it doesn't hang over your head. And so that's my biggest message to you, other than reading the latest blog post that I've just unearthed. I had procrastinated, and I had the perfectionism to write a blog post, which you can see there, this man who had writer's block for 30 years. And I had made a decision to do guest posting and offer it, not on my blog, but as a guest post. Well, do you know, that was 3 years ago. And I've tried to find the perfect way to reach out and be a guest blogger. And I used to be a guest poster on a dating site. But I stopped that because I said, no, I must publish my own work and manifest my own success with my blog and courses and books. But the point is, when I knew that I was going to jump on this Facebook Live and talk about where I have been perfecting, let's call it as a verb, being a perfectionist and having that dragon standing over me, I went back to that blog post, and it's now pinned to the top of my blog. So if you would like to read it, go to carolwestmore.com/blog, and you will see this interesting, horrific story. And this is a horror story I'm going to leave you with, of a man who had success. He was a New Yorker writer, and he had great success. And then for the next 30 years, he did not publish another thing. He went to work every day on the New Yorker and got his check, and his name was Joseph Mitchell. And there's a book about him, which I referred to in that blog post. Can you imagine the shame of collecting your monthly check and not having written anything? Well, I don't know if it was shame or whether his editor should have done something more about it. And that's why one of the first things I say in that blog post, get accountability. Just the fact that I've started to do more regular Facebook Lives is because I have found a wonderful accountability partner called Monica. And Monica, thanks for being on. I see you are on live. I've got to put my glasses on to see. I see you are here. Monica Riva is my Facebook Live partner in crime, as we are encouraging each other to share our gold with you. Anyway, the first blog tip I put in that blog is accountability. The second one is find the seed. And the author of the book, who wrote this book on Joseph Mitchell, who wrote his biography, says that one of the things people said about him was that he was a perfectionist. There we go. The perfectionism kept him stuck. But I mean, one of the things that was amazing, he had a filing cabinet of research for a book he wanted to write. I think it was 7 drawers, or it was 7 filing cabinets. And people would go past his office and hear him tap, tap, tap on his typewriter. But he never produced another single article till he died 30 years later at the age of 87. So I want you all to know that I have unfinished projects that I'm committing to stop procrastinating on. And I even did some tapping in my manifesting group the other night. And I realized that, okay, if I don't finish everything, because one of the things about ADD creatives is that they do not admit, they always feel that they are minimizing their progress and maximizing their mistakes, or magnifying what they're not doing instead of appreciating what they are doing. So the last tip I want to leave you with is, if you do something, no matter how imperfect, and they say, getting it finished is better than not doing it at all, just celebrate. So please celebrate with me the future publication of my long recorded 10 goal stoppers and how to break free audiobook, which I'm going to put on Audible, because one of my best-selling books is the audio that I've written called Goal Success, that you can see on the left. People love that book because it's simple. There are 5 steps to goal success. And one of them is slaying the dragon of perfectionism. So thank you for today, for being here. I love those of you who jumped on and are below. And if you're watching the replay, leave me a note, leave me a message, and I will, or direct message me if you think you're stuck in some quagmire of being a resolution breaker instead of a resolution maker, and having goal shame, what I call goal shame, which you would like me to clear so that you can move forward with your projects and become the goal success that you long for. Thank you. That's all for today.